Hello, welcome to Todd Miller TV, joined here with Oana. Okay, so I was reading a post on Facebook by a real estate agent who said that the seller called and said, I got to sell my house. I should have called you 3 months ago. Man, we got to get this thing sold. And the agent goes, okay, your house is worth $285,000. And the guy goes, okay, let's list it for $325,000. Right? And it's like, wait a minute, if you got to sell the house, why are you doing this? So let's talk about, it's a psychological thing, and it is it's like a custom thing, or it's a thing they do in certain countries or in certain belief systems, or like, what's this nonsense with intentionally, like knowing the house is worth $285,000? Why would you even put $320,000? Like, what are you hoping to do? Like, why do people do that?
Okay, so when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Okay.
Okay, we are not somewhere else. We are not in a different culture. We are here in the U.S. And here in the U.S., we tend to not do that.
Culture was the word I was looking for. Some cultures, you never pay the price. So if you want to sell something for, $50, you have to offer for $65, and then the person buys it for $50, and everyone thinks they got a deal.
Right.
But the person who put $65 is like, no one would pay that. Why would you pay that?
Well, I'm more driven by numbers and spreadsheets. So what I look at is if I think the property is worth $285,000, I look at the market. I see who's on the market with me, and I see, well, how many homes are on the market, and what do they look like, and where are they priced. If $285,000 is a fair price and I want to sell it quickly, then I will go ahead and price it at $285,000. Another strategy might actually be, if there's a lack of inventory and the home is worth $285,000, is to go ahead and list it for $285,000, and you may end up with multiple offers. And at that point, then you have the opportunity to say, okay, we'll sell it to you for $300,000 because we've got multiple offers. So now we're getting more money than what the house is actually worth. And providing that it's a buyer who can pay the difference between purchase price and appraised value, we're in good shape. If they're not, then fine, we'll back down to appraised value and hope that we appraise for at least the $285,000. The bottom line is, you're not going to get less than market value for the house. If you price the house at $325,000, you're going to be ignored by the market, and you're not going to sell it. So then you're going to play this wonderful game called chasing the market down.
Yeah.
So even though we established at the beginning the house was worth $285,000, once a house has been on the market for some time, even when you price it at market value, now it will get less because it's stale. It's like that last cookie left on the shelf. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
So people are no longer willing to pay fair market value because they figure there's something wrong with it. Nobody else wanted it, so why should I want it?
So let's talk about that, because that happens. The agent says, well, there's this one house that just came on the market today for $285,000. There's this other house, it's been on the market 6 months, it's also now listed for $285,000, and you're like, you start thinking, like, all these things go through your head, like, what's wrong with it? Why is no one, like, why should I buy it? If no one else wanted it, there must be something wrong with it. And you go see it, you go, you know what, I like it, it looks good, but I'm missing something, because no one else has wanted to buy this house, and I'm just going to pass on it. We'll just and then you go to the other house at $285,000, and you find out there's 3 offers, and you're like, oh, well, that's a hot house, and this other one's not hot. Oh, and the other thing is too, it's been on the market 6 months, and he's had 4 price reductions. Let's wait another couple weeks and see if he does another price reduction. Like this, I think and Zillow proved this statistically. If you overprice the house, you sell by less, right? And I think all the psychological things that people think is, well, the one I hear, my favorite one is, well, what if some guy from California shows up and he says, oh, $325,000, that's nothing. This house would be $1 million in the Bay Area, I'll pay $325,000, right? Like he's going to intentionally overpay, okay? I've never seen that. Like I've never seen somebody just go, oh, I'll pay $400,000 for the house. Sure, it's only worth $250,000, but yeah, $400,000 is a great price because in California, right?
A fool and his money are soon parted, but we can't always find the fool for our house.
So the psychological things to do this are actually hurting you in the long run. The other thing I always hear that's funny, because it's always, well, you real estate agents, this is like the Freakonomics one, right? You real estate agents just want to sell it really fast so you can collect your commission. Then it's funny, because why do real estate agents tend to sell their houses faster than homeowners? Real estate agents sell their homes faster than homeowners. There's one reason. because they don't have the homeowner trying to overlist the house. And the agent goes, okay, sure, we'll list your house for $225, but we're going to do a price reduction every 2 weeks. The agent's like, look, I just want to sell the house. We need to sell it. Let's list it for what it's worth.
Right.
And then, because we've been in the game long enough to know it. The Freakonomics people got it wrong.
Well,
There's a whole video on Freakonomics. You can Google it.
Yes.
And they were wrong. They missed the thing where they said that real estate agents sell for more because of the way they price the homes, and it's actually misleading.
The other thing is that once a house has been on the market for a long time and it's had multiple price reductions, then people smell desperation. So even though you're priced at market value now, people realize that you've been on the market for a long time and now you're getting desperate, so now you'll take less than market value. So you're going to get a lot of offers that are going to be well below your asking price, well below that market price, because they are going to feel that you're desperate and you're willing to take that.
There should be a meme made that shows when you tell a buyer that a house has been on the market like for months longer than all the other houses, and they make a face. They're like, "Huh, really? It's been on the market?" Like, wow, and like them trying to figure out like what's wrong with the house and why no one else wants it. And they don't want to be the stigma of being stuck with the house no one else wanted, right?
Right, exactly. They don't want that last cookie on the shelf that everybody else has put back.
Okay, so the moral of the story is, listen to the professional. Look, they want to sell the house for as much money as possible because they want repeat business and all the other stuff that goes with that. And, this nonsense where you overprice the house intentionally and it just sits there, it doesn't help do anything. You're not figuring out some magical thing that doesn't exist. The market's very efficient.
If you want to sell the house, sell the house. Do you want to be listed or do you want to be sold?
Yeah, that's a good analogy. All right. Well, thanks for being on the show today.
You're welcome.
That's the update for today, and hope to see you on another video.